Now here is an example. Make R the subject of this formula. Previously we had used a method that most of you enjoyed using, the onion skin method, and I'm going to use it here to help you understand the process of making whatever variable that you want to make the subject. So the first step you need to do is to circle that variable that you want to make the subject. So I'll circle R, and then I'll circle everything else that is on this side. So imagine that I'm peeling this onion that I've formed here. So this is an onion. So I'm trying to peel this onion. If I peel the outer skin, whatever I see is 2 pi, and 2 pi is multiplied by R. Now, what is the opposite of multiplying by 2 pi? Opposite of multiplying by 2 pi is dividing by 2 pi. So this is an inverse operation. The opposite of multiplying by 2 pi is dividing by 2 pi. So we are going to divide each side by 2 pi. So what we'll end up with is C over 2 pi is equal to 2 pi R divided by 2 pi. Now we know that 2 pi divided by 2 pi is equals to 1. So these guys cancel to give you 1. That's gone. We'll end up with R is equals to C over 2 pi. I'll look at another example. Make X the subject of the formula. So I'll start by drawing the onion. So I'll start with making a circle around the variable that I want to make the subject. And then what has been multiplied by that, followed by what has been added to that product. So suppose you want to peel this onion. If we peel out the blue skin, what will be exposed to be plus C. The opposite of adding C is subtracting C. So opposite of adding C is subtracting C. So if we subtract C from both sides, if you subtract C on this side, you subtract C on that side, you'll end up with y minus C is equals to mx, because C minus C is 0. And then if you look at this again, you can see that x has been multiplied by m, and the opposite of multiplying by m is dividing by m. So what we'll end up with is, if you divide the right hand side by m, it will be m divided by m, which is 1. So you'll just be left with x. On the left hand side, you'll end up with y minus C over m is equals to x. Because if you divide here by m, divide by m, divide here by m, this m's will cancel. So you end up with y minus C over m is equals to x. Here's another example. I'll start by drawing the onion skins. So if I peel out the outer skin, whatever operation that I'm seeing here is divide by 5. And the opposite of divide by 5 is multiply by 5, which means I'll multiply the left hand side by 5 to end up with 5y is equals to x plus 3. And of course, if you look at this, this is the variable that I want to make the subject, and 3 has been added to it. So opposite of adding 3, is subtracting 3. So what I'll end up with here is 5y minus 3 is equals to x. Here's another example. I'll try to use shorter methods now that you get the process. Start by drawing the onion skins. So that is the variable that I want to make the subject. That is what has been multiplied by that variable, and then that is what has been added. So the opposite of adding x squared is subtracting x squared. So we subtract x squared from the other side of the equation. Now, this is the variable again that I want to make the subject. 4x has been multiplied by that. The opposite of multiplying by 4x is dividing. So my answer will be a minus x squared over 4x is equals to y. Here's another example. Start by, you want to make y the subject. Circle y. It has been squared, so we circle that operation as well. And then z squared has been added to it, so we circle that as well. The opposite of adding z squared is subtracting, so we'll have x squared minus z squared is equals to y squared. The opposite of squaring y is square root, so square root of x squared minus z squared is equals to y. Here's another example, our last example. Start by, we want to make r the subject, so circle r, and r is cubed, so we circle that as well, and then it's multiplied by 4/3 pi. So the opposite of multiplying by 4/3 pi is dividing, so we'll have v over 4/3 pi is equal to r cubed. The opposite of cubing r is cube root, so the cube root of v over 4/3 pi is equals to r.